You're tuned to the programmes of the BBC World Service. They're broadcast 24 hours a day from our studios here at Bush House, in the heart of London. BBC World Service. Last year, in Britain and Europe, celebrations were held to commemorate the ending of hostilities in Europe during World War II. For many, that moment of peace was a joyous memory, tinged with sadness at the tragedies of the war and the loss of life on all sides. But for some ex-soldiers, there are darker memories that haunt them still. Our play today tells of one of those dark memories, and a relationship that grows between two very different generations.
It's a lovely day tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lovely day.
Generations, or
What did you do in the war, Grandad?
by Brian Wright, with Trevor Peacock and Pat Coombs as George and Floss, and Ross Livingston and Deborah Berlin as Chris and Sophie. Generations.
If today your heart is weary,
Remember me when I am dead, and simplify me when I'm dead. The opening lines of a poem Keith Douglas wrote in the spring of 1941, 3 years before he was killed in action, and one of several on the theme of...
This is it, son.
What?
You're stopped.
Oh, God. Thanks!
Can't see him.
Oh, stop fussing.
You sure he said the 12:35?
Of course I am. There he is.
God. Look at the shoulders on him.
Just like his dad. Same walk.
Behave yourself now.
Found your way across London, all right?
Yes, Gran. No probs.
He's been here before.
By car, ages ago.
You'll be driving yourself soon.
Don't look at him, look at the road.
I've been driving 60-odd years without an accident.
Always the first time. None of this traffic round your way, Chris.
Not at school, no.
Don't you get fed up living away from home like that?
Used to it now. Anne comes down once a term. John, sometimes.
Oh. I'll put you in your dad's old room.
Second on the left, up the stairs, next to the dewey.
I hope this is no bother. I was happy to stay home by myself, but Anne wouldn't.
No, it's lovely to have you after all this time. Treat the place as your own and lunch in 10 minutes.
Dinner, I call it.
You would. Meat pie.
Oh, didn't Anne say?
What?
I'm vegetarian now.
No, she didn't. I'll do you a cheese sauce.
Don't bother, please. Just leave out the pie.
It's no bother. Here, let me carry something.
I'm okay.
Typewriter.
Laptop.
Eh?
Computer.
Go on. It was slates and pencils when I went to school.
I've got lots of work. Did Anne mention it?
A-levels.
Yeah, an extended essay. Need good grades for university.
Cambridge and science, like your dad.
John tried to talk me into that. History. Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
John and Anne, I don't know what's wrong with good old Mum and Dad.
Fashions change, Floss.
The poor kid's practically an orphan.
Don't exaggerate. He's got a wonderful home.
He's away from it most of the year. What they want to keep him at that school for?
Well, you know, John. Nothing but the best.
His mother's never at home neither. The boy don't look well, George.
Working too hard, I expect. His dad was the same, wasn't he now? You can't live their lives for them.
I'm ashamed of our John. I never thought I'd say that, but I am ashamed. Walking out on his wife and son. He'll be 52 next year.
You never liked Anne. A snob, you said.
There's nothing to do with it. This new woman, she's got 2 boys of her own. He'll have no time for Chris now. And he looks so... oh, what's the word?
Mature.
Vulnerable.
Remember me when I am dead, and simplify me when I'm dead. As the processes of earth strip off the colour and the skin, take the brown hair and blue eye, and leave me simpler than at birth. When hairless I came howling in, as the moon came in the cold sky. Hairless I came howling in. Brilliant. Mega. Mega.
Have some more bread and butter pudding, Chris.
I couldn't.
Your mum's on a course, you said.
Open University. She's really into it, her and Greg.
Greg?
The new man. That's how they met.
Did they now? Oh. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. Sorry, Grandad, it slipped out.
It's no good hiding these things. In our day, people married for life, you see.
Seems a long time.
Oh, there's a limit to loyalty, you reckon?
Don't know. Can I phone someone? A friend?
Anytime, out there.
Oh, thanks. It's a titchy little house. Bit crummy, really.
You should have gone to Spain with Papa.
No way. He's like a big kid, you know, with her. He's old enough to be her father, Soph. And her brats are a pain.
Mummy was half expecting you here.
Anne wouldn't let me. I tried.
She doesn't trust you.
She's been a bit heavy since Dad took off, worrying about my work and everything. Well, this essay's worth 15% of the exam.
Oh, poor you.
It's not so bad. I'm really into this guy, Keith Douglas, now. His love poems, Soph.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Don't let your coffee go cold now.
Who was that?
My gran.
See, George?
What are they like?
Okay. Anne says they're rather quaint. I suppose they are.
Crumblies.
Yeah, Cockney crumblies.
There we are.
Oh, thanks, Floss.
He's talking to some girl.
How do you know?
I can tell.
Well, he's 17, good-looking boy, too. Gets it from me.
We don't know him, George, our own grandson. Well, it's like there's a wall.
You can't force these things. We don't know his dad anymore. We lost John years back.
He lost us.
We let him go. We had to.
Keith Douglas was in his second year at Oxford University when Britain declared war on Hitler's Germany. He enlisted at once. After 50 years, his political perception of newspaper reports from Europe still seems remarkable. Intelligences like blackbirds come on their dire wings from Europe. Sorrows fall like the rook's clatter on house and garden.
Here are the main points of the news again.
Once was enough.
In Bosnia, the United Nations envoy has been meeting President Izetbegovic again in an attempt to mediate on the latest crisis along the country's eastern borders. And on a brighter note, here at home, rehearsals have been taking place for next month's VE celebrations in Hyde Park.
Oh, thank you.
Commemorating the end of the war between the Allies and Germany in May 1945.
Many happy returns.
Come in.
We're off to bed soon. Grandad's just watching his news. Anything you want?
No thanks. Night, Gran.
Nice to see someone up here again. Oh, figure work.
No, an essay about a poet.
Oh, your dad was never much one for poetry.
I know.
I liked it myself at school.
This is Keith Douglas, World War II poet.
Oh, well, your grandfather would know, probably.
He's interested in poetry.
No, but he was in the army, wasn't he?
I never knew that. Where?
All over. North Africa, France, Germany.
Oh, John's never mentioned.
Oh, your dad's forgotten. Before his time.
Infantry, was he?
I expect so. He was on, oh, you know, them things, tanks.
Really? Well, so was this guy Douglas.
Oh.
I'd like to talk to Grandad about it.
Oh, well, he's never been one to talk about the war and that. It upsets him, all this commemoration business.
Better not, then.
You could ask, love. You are his grandson, after all.
I don't know why you still bother with that alarm. We ain't going nowhere.
I like my routine.
Oh, I'm tired, Floss.
Oh, in the right place then, aren't you?
Tired inside, I mean.
Give us a kiss and turn off the light.
What's that noise?
Young Chris, his computer thing. He'd like to talk to you.
About what? He's dead?
The war.
What?
Was something to do with his exams.
I don't know nothing about exams.
Well, you know about the war.
I was in it. That's not the same thing. You didn't promise.
No. No, I said talking about it upsets you.
It doesn't upset me, Floss. It just... I can't explain.
You don't have to. Here. Give us your hand.
We're not just fighting to win, Sarge. We're fighting for a new world.
The old one will do me. Now pass us them spanners.
Even old Churchill's talking about war aims. The capitalist system is finished, like the Führer.
Not if we can't get this tank started. Spanners, Miller.
All right. No vision, Sarge. That's your trouble.
It's a lovely day. Tomorrow is a lovely day.
Over the rainbow, away. Oh, morning. Sleep well?
Always do.
How about an egg?
Eggs are off for me. Sorry.
Oh, you are a vegetarian, aren't you? Well, grapefruit and cereals on the table and toast on the way.
Oh, thanks, Gran.
I've got you an Easter egg for Sunday. That allowed?
Oh, lush. I'm a chocoholic. Haven't had one since I was 12. Where's Grandad?
Gone out to get a paper. It's a nice day. He'll most likely go down to Greenwich Park after dinner and lunch. You could try, you know, talking to him then. Fresh air will do you good and all.
OK.
How's your dad keeping? We haven't seen him for more than a year.
Oh, John's pretty busy. They made him managing director. And he'd moved into a new house, of course.
Must be lonely for you now.
No, I've got loads of friends. At school, anyway.
Girlfriend, I expect, at your age.
Sort of.
What's the name? Oh, your Gran's a nosy old moo, isn't she?
Sophie.
Oh, I'd like to meet her sometime. Oh, don't mind me. I'm soppy that way. I always wanted a daughter, you know. I lost a little girl before your dad.
Lost? You mean...
Doctors said it could have been shock. I was carrying, like, during the bombing. You know, the Blitz.
I've seen films about that. You got married in the war?
Because of the war, you could say. We'd been going out for a year and I wasn't much older than you, but, well, it seemed now or never.
That's when you came to live here?
No, nothing like so grand, no. We had 2 rooms off of East Ham High Street. I say we. Your Grandad went off to the army. The air raids was bad over that way in 40, 41. The docks, you see, docks, Jerry was after them. To this day, I never hear an airplane go over, but I think, is it ours or theirs?
I used to bring your dad up here when he was little. Oh. I'd be buried up here if I had the choice. Over the Thames. The Houses of Parliament up there. Round the bend. Nudge, nudge. Down there. Down the river. Thames Barrier, Woolwich. Barking, the sea. English Channel. And across there, look, from Aldgate to Wanstead. My old stamping grounds, the East End.
That where you were born?
Behind the Isle of Dogs there. What used to be West India Docks. I get angry when I think of all the graft that went into that river. My father worked in the West India Dock. The whole family wore itself out down there, and for what?
I thought you were with British Telecom.
I trained as an electrician. I joined the post office as it was then after the war.
You were in the 8th Army and on the Second Front, weren't you?
You've been boning up.
Part of an exam. About Keith Douglas.
Who?
Oh, a poet. Captain in the Sherwood Rangers. He was killed in Normandy, 1944.
Oh, yes. I was in armoured. Sergeant with the Royal West. No poets in our regiment. Not likely.
His stuff isn't soft. Well, the best of it's about the war.
No, it's not my thing, poetry.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Well, I suppose I could try it. All this anniversary lot got you going, did it?
Partly. I can sort of relate to Douglas. He went to a school a bit like ours. Only 24 when he died.
I must have helped bury a dozen kids who were under 18. Lied about their date of birth, dead keen. No joke intended.
That's what I wanted to ask. Douglas sort of threw himself into the war. That wasn't anything special.
Oh, most of us knew there was no hope unless the Nazis were stopped. And soldiering and war was part of our lives then. New memorials to the 1418 round every corner. And on Remembrance Day, the whole country came to a standstill. For 2 minutes, a standstill. Buses, trains, factories, schools. You could feel the silence. It weighed you down.
Keith Douglas' father was an ex-officer. But he hardly knew him. Went off with another woman, I think.
Your father's your father. A hero's a hero. If you believe in heroes.
I envy your generation in a way. I mean, you had to go off and fight. John had banned the bomb in Vietnam. We got global warming and animal rights and stuff. But nothing to walk out and die for.
You mustn't think like that. We've had enough of that. Dying for something isn't difficult, son. Living for something is much harder.
You've got to fight for something, Sarge. You can't just fight against.
I'm fighting for my wife. The kids will have.
But you want them to have a better life than you did.
I'll make bloody sure of that.
Right. So, you know things ain't as fair as they should be.
Life ain't fair. We all know that.
It's fair in some places.
Oh, the Soviet Union. Don't tell me.
I reckon. But that's not the point. When the war is won, who stands to benefit most? The bankers, the industrialists, the politicians. You may not realise it, Sarge, but you volunteered to die for the stock exchange. If you're happy with that, you're a fool. Or a slave, and you deserve to be.
Watch it, Miller. That's insubordination. You're so bloody sure of yourself. What are you, 18?
This ain't just me talking. It's Marx and Lenin and the
God.
Webbs and Richard Tawney and Bernard Shaw
and Uncle Tom
Professor
Cobley and
Beveridge
all, and Uncle Tom Cobley and all.
Anyway, you're not so old yourself.
I'm 30.
30. Born in 1914.
Oh, you can add up too. Marvellous.
I'm serious, Sergeant. You've been had twice already. How many more times?
National initiative at the highest level. After 3 years, the people of Sarajevo are still living under the daily threat of bombardment from the hills above the city.
That
The
place
authorities
was in
have
the news
succeeded
when
in
I came
maintaining
into the
some
world.
semblance of normality, but the struggle grows more
Sarajevo.
difficult daily.
It'll be there when
To
I
the
go
north
out and all.
east in the
You'll
enclaves
be
of
around for a
Bihać,
while
Brezhnev,
yet.
and Srebrenica,
So will that little
civilians
lot.
are under even greater pressure.
The international aid agencies and the UN...
I did some work, then I went for a walk in the park with my granddad.
Oh, exciting.
I got him talking about the war. He was in tanks and stuff, same as Keith.
Keith, I'm going to have to sort you out, aren't I?
Yes, please. What do you mean?
You're getting fixated with this Douglas guy.
Oh, no, I'm not. Just because you're doing psychology.
Oh, no, listen. Didn't his father go off with someone else? And wasn't he a bit moody or something?
I'm not moody.
Charlotte says you were.
She was the moody one, that's why I chucked her.
What are you and the Crumbleys doing tonight?
I'm working. They'll be doing whatever Crumbleys do.
Crumbling.
Are you going to watch that rubbish?
I like it. The news is your rubbish, this is my rubbish.
That programme is grounds for divorce.
Look, if you want to read, go somewhere else.
I will in a minute.
Hey, what's that you got anyhow?
Something Chris gave me.
Oh, go on, let's see.
I'm reading. Look at your rubbish.
Oh, look, it's poetry.
What's wrong with that?
Wonders will never cease.
It's not poetry.
No.
It's not about daffodils and kissing. Not much at any rate.
The themes of love and death run like a thread. Twisted thread through these poems, combining, mixing tenderness and terror in strong, skillful rhymes. 3 weeks gone and the combatants gone, returning over the nightmare ground, we found the place again, and found the soldier sprawling in the sun. Look, here in the gun pit spoil the dishonoured picture of his girl who has put Steffi, vergiss mij nicht in a copybook Gothic script. But she would weep to see today how on his skin the swart flies move, the dust upon the paper eye, and the burst stomach like a cave.
Taff, it's Miller.
George.
He's here.
Oh, George, love, you're right.
Miller.
It's okay, love, everything's all right.
Floss?
Yes, love, I'm here. Oh, you've had one of your old dreams.
Oh, it's one dream. Only the one.
Don't think about it no more.
I'll go on dreaming when I'm dead, Floss. It always comes back.
No, don't talk like that. It's my fault. Oh, I shouldn't have encouraged Chris. I wasn't thinking straight.
No, that's silly. Oh, there's no way I'm going to shut things out these next few weeks.
George, lie down. Now, can I fetch you anything?
No. Oh, I'll be okay now.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Tell you something, Sarge. I won't tell anyone else. I never, with a girl. Maybe I never will now. Hey, maybe I never will now.
On tomorrow's clear blue sky.
Oh, you're down early.
Woke up early.
So did your Grandad. He's out in the garden already.
Oh, likes gardening, does he?
I wish. No, that's my job. He's mending that old bird table. Here, hot cross bun.
God, it's Good Friday. I mean, you're not religious, are you?
No, not now. I was brought up to be. Here, sit yourself down. Religion was mostly for kids where I come from. Give their parents some peace of a Sunday. Oh, and there's some tea made.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, here. I've sorted these out for you.
Oh, what is it?
Old snaps. Look, one's of your father at the back, early ones at the front.
Oh, I know this. Him and Dan.
Yeah, their engagement party. We weren't invited. We didn't go.
Him and Grandad.
Oh, yeah, in the garage with their train set. And when I say there, I mean they're men, babies. Oh, look, there they are again. Oh, blurry. I must have took it.
They seem to be having a good time. Were they, you know...
Close up till then, I suppose, yeah. Eat your hot cross bun.
Can I keep these for a bit?
You can keep them permanent.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Well, why not? Who else did we take snaps for?
Has Grandad got any army photos?
Oh, we did have. I don't know what he's done with them all.
Oh, hello, son.
Gran sent me out with some crumbs for the birds.
Almost finished. This thing is rotting away, like me. Got a lot of birds coming through this garden. There. Yeah, that's it. Serve up the breakfast.
Right.
Them starlings and blackbirds are waiting, see? Step back here and watch. The first bird table I ever made was in a New Forest, while we were waiting for D-Day. Helped to take your mind off things, still does. I had a look at them poems.
Great.
Bit above my head, some of them, but I'll have another go. Didn't always warm to him, to be honest.
He had an arrogant side.
Well, he was young. You're allowed to be arrogant when you're young. Poor sod didn't have time to learn no better, did he?
No. He'd be as old as Gran now. A poet laureate, maybe.
Yes. And he'll never be more than a kid to me. A kid I've just met, kind of thing. Funny how books work, isn't it?
Spooky. Sorry you didn't like him more.
He was an officer, that makes a difference. Us rankers didn't count for much, we all knew that. The best NCOs in the world was nothing compared to pimpy little twerps fresh out of officer training.
That caused resentment?
It's a waste of time when you're fighting. You did your job as well as you could, whatever it was. You just did your job.
Right.
I was troop commander myself for a week. Squadron lost 3 officers in one morning.
Sovereign to King 3, walk on, wheel and walk on. Do you read, over?
King 3, Sovereign, we'll go. Over.
King L.
Jesus, what?
Grandad?
Oh, sorry, son. I like the poems about the desert. He's got those cavalry types to a T. And the one about the German soldier, that was it. Saw that hundreds of times. He was numb to it in the end. Bodies was part of the job.
He had these premonitions about dying. Right from the start, but especially before D-Day. Was that sick, weird, or what?
Everyone thought about it. Unless they were thick or a head case. I tried to push it away, but I'm not a poet, am I? I wouldn't have wanted one in my crew, neither. What people don't realise is war is 80% hanging about, waiting. You can't afford to brood.
Oh, give us a break, Sarge. We'll have more bird tables and tents soon.
Fall out for a smoke. 10 minutes. But no bloody politics this morning, right?
Trying to take our minds off the big day. It's a game, isn't it?
Let's just say I'm interested in wildlife. Especially the greatest spotted socialist wanker.
Who's Spotty? Didn't sleep last night. Did you?
Not a lot.
Don't you ever worry about getting one? Getting hit?
Sure. And I worry about something else.
I keep imagining how. Where?
Try imagining something nicer. Haven't you got a girl?
Nah, not really. Not yet. I'll tell you something, Sarge. I wouldn't tell anyone else. I'll never... You know, with a girl. Maybe I never will now, eh?
Give over. We're sailing for France. The land of love.
What's it like, being married and that?
It's wonderful, you dirty-minded little sod. I didn't know I was alive till I met my Floss. And the more I know about her, the more I want to learn.
Thanks, Sarge. I appreciate that. Bit of a poet on the quiet, aren't you?
Oh, God, blimey.
You kept the men busy, then?
It was the younger ones I felt sorry for. There was this gunner called Miller. Mad about socialism. Never stopped arguing. I saw a lot of terrible things in the war. Terrible. But whenever I think back, it's not them I remember. It's Les Miller. His big, round, spotty kid's face. Arguing.
Can I see your army photographs?
Photographs?
Gran said you had some.
I threw them out yonks ago.
Oh. Pity.
It took some of us like that, Chris. For everyone marching around Hyde Park shaking his campaign medals, there'll be 100 more at home. Don't want to know. Draw a line under the whole shagging business.
You are listening to the BBC World Service. This is WNYE, New York.
That's just the way I am.
Independent survey into crime in England and Wales has concluded that the level of crime will double in the next 10 years if the government doesn't take urgent social measures to combat what it calls a burgeoning criminal subculture.
George,
the co-director
you're
of the
missing
report,
the
Dr.
news.
Julian Marsh, interviewed for this programme by our social affairs correspondent, says the
Where
survey's
is he?
computer model is based on the government's own records.
That's right, him.
I didn't know Jason was at your college now.
He isn't. He's staying with Charlotte.
You seen your grandfather, Sam?
He went upstairs.
What?
Oh, he's missing his news.
Nothing, just talking to my gran.
Grumble, grumble.
So, why did you have to go out with them?
Don't start one of your moods, Chris.
I'm not.
Oh, look, this is silly. Why don't you just get on a train and come here? Your mother can't do anything. She's shacked up with Toy Boy for the week.
I can't now.
Why? Oh, poxy A-levels. I promised to let you work. A bit.
It's not that. They'd be hurt if I left now.
That's an excuse. You hardly know them.
That's why.
What are you doing up in the loft, George?
Nothing. Sorting some old stuff out.
Watch your head on them beams, lovey.
Watch you don't get a crick in your neck.
All right. I can take a hint. Oh, you're missing the news.
I've seen it all before. I've got better things to look at.
Winning the war is simple, Sarge.
I'll tell old Monty. Pass us up them ammunition boxes.
Compared to winning a peace, that is.
Come again, Comrade Miller?
You have to win peace. Just the same as you win war. It's just the same. That's what went wrong last time. We didn't fight for the League of Nations, did we?
To you, Daff.
Radio, Sarge. We let Franco take over Spain. We let Mussolini take over Abyssinia. We let the RAF bomb the Arabs.
What's all this we? You were still in short pants.
I marched against Mosley in Cable Street.
He was terrified, I bet. To you, Daff.
Got it, Sarge.
There'd have been no war without old Adolf.
That's where you're wrong, Sarge. Fascism is an effect, not a cause. We've only got ourselves to blame.
Only ourselves to blame.
Hey, come away from that sink.
I always wash up at home.
Yeah, more than your father ever did. Hey, your granddad's having a mood.
Runs in the family.
You too?
According to my so-called friends.
What's wrong? Oh, you've had a tiff with your Sophie, haven't you?
Not really. It's just difficult talking on the phone.
Well, it is when you're fond of someone. Hey, send her some flowers.
Flowers?
Old-fashioned.
The guys at school would rag me rotten.
How would they know? Go on, it's Easter, traditional.
It's just not done, Gran.
You know your own business. Perhaps Grandad's looking out some photos for you.
No, he said he got rid of his army stuff.
Did he? He's never told me.
That's strange. Throwing away 5 years of your life.
There's more ways than one to remember. We all tried to make a clean break after the war. Change the government, change the schools, change the welfare, change the hospitals. Hey, even changed our skirts. Oh, change, please. Yeah, we did. You'd never believe the hopes there was then, the good intentions. And the morning after peace was declared, I took your dad down to the Methodist church in his pram. Hypocritical, really. But you couldn't help believing in God on a morning like that. There'd been this tremendous storm during the night, and the minister said, I can hear him now. He said it was like the whole of nature was rejoicing. A storm of joy.
Oh, tough. It's Miller.
Hey? What? Oh, what is it?
Hey.
Oh, no, same as last night.
Oh, sorry, Floss.
Oh.
Sorry to disturb you. I'll move into the spare room, shall I?
No, you haven't done that for 25 years. You stay where you are. You ought to go and see Dr. Simpson.
Oh, I'd feel a right fool.
Well, what do you feel now? Never showed you this in them war films, did they? It's all stiff upper lip, bang, bang, and Dickie Attenborough.
We queued up to see him, though, didn't we? We played along with it.
No more talking to Chris about the war, George. I'll tell him.
No, leave it. I only wish I could have talked to John the way I'm talking to that boy. By the time he was old enough, they were all taking the piss. The war was a joke.
Shall I go and make you some tea?
A whiskey, more like it. I'll get it. You?
No, we're almost out. Hey, don't wake Chris.
I talk in my sleep, don't I?
No women, if that's what's worrying you.
I wish there was. You'd soon cure me of that.
Your heart is weary. If every little thing looks gray.
I wondered where you'd got to. Where you been?
Oh, just round the corner. Felt like a walk.
See Grandpa Grumpy?
No?
Pop down the off-licence. Hey, I just baked some bread.
Hot bread, I love it.
Yeah, so did your dad. Now, butter and jam?
Nothing, just straight bread.
Really? You wasn't up too late last night, was you?
No, why?
We mustn't send you back washed out. Your mum would never forgive us. Hey, there's a fair on Blackheath, fun fair. We thought we'd take a look after lunch.
Fair enough.
Oh, very funny, I don't think. Here. Excuse fingers.
I should have come to stay before, Gran. I've missed out.
Oh, well, our fault as well. We let your dad drift away too easy. But all his friends was the same. Got on, got out, went away. Everybody said it was for the best. And everybody was wrong, as usual. Moaning old Minnie and I.
You bake a mean loaf, Min.
Oh, no.
Crazy, really. They teach us all about genes at school, but they forget to tell
Genes?
us... The biology sort.
Oh.
They leave out the interesting stuff. You know, how families look alike. Like, for instance, we've got the same nose. Have you noticed?
Have we? Oh, well, my eyes aren't what they was.
I've got Grandad's eyes, I think. Look.
Oh.
John's complexion. Yeah. Anne's legs, wasted on a man, she says.
Oh.
What's the matter?
I'm having a cry, you daft little bugger. Oh, go and play with your computer.
Remember me when I am dead and simplify me when I'm dead.
Yeah. A mass grave this was once. And all them football pitches and grass, that's why they call it Blackheath. Plague victims.
Yeah, gave me the shivers when he first told me that.
When I first showed her the Greenwich Meridian, she thought the brass line went all the way round the world.
I did not. He's making it up, Chris.
I half believed it myself. I thought it meant England was your actual centre of the earth.
Well, seemed like it during the war.
Yeah, seemed, maybe. It was on the blink well before then. The war finished us off. Germans too. They bounced back. Losers have to.
Yeah.
We can't quite make the effort somehow. What we're best at is pretending we've won when we've lost. The good old Dunkirk spirit.
Didn't the Peasants' Revolt happen here too?
Yeah, and the London Marathon. It all goes on round here.
George, you are making me feel tired. Give us the keys and I'll wait for you in the car.
Oh, let's all go back.
No, you two have a little wander, little talk. Keys, George.
Jawohl, mein General.
Oh.
Devious, my wife, should have gone into politics. I read some more of those poems.
And?
I like the ones about D-Day.
He was still working on them when he was killed.
Where?
A few miles from Bayeux.
Ah, yes. A lot of armour got bogged down between there and Caen. The Bocage, they called it. Some people think it was straight off the beach and on to Paris for a party. The Panzers had more firepower and armour than us, see.
Have you ever been back?
I couldn't face it, son. Nor Germany.
Still don't like the Germans?
No. I didn't dodge shells all the way from Benghazi to Berlin just to bear grudges. I don't understand the ins and outs, but the best blokes I ever knew are buried across the channel. That makes them Europeans, right? And what's good enough for them is good enough for me. When you sit on a tank for 50 miles and see a million rag-arsed refugees walk past, Germans, Russians, French, Poles, Jews, you realise you're all victims together. You're suffering from the same disease. Yeah. I haven't been back, couldn't face it. Your old granddad's a coward.
No one who went through D-Day could be a coward.
Courage didn't come into it, son. It was live or die. I filled my pants 3 times before I got off that beachhead. You learn how brave you are before a battle, not during it. Read your man again. He knew.
Actors waiting in the wings of Europe. We already watch the lights on the stage and listen to the colossal overture begin. For us, entering at the height of the din, it will be hard to hear our thoughts, hard to gauge how much our conduct owes to fear or fury.
Will it be tomorrow, you think?
Other night in Southampton docks, morale will start to go.
Look at all them boats. It's not real, is it? Thousands of us, bobbing around like pickles in a jar.
Don't. I can't keep me grub down as it is.
Oh, please, God, give us a smooth crossing.
God? What happened to Stalin and Harry Pollitt?
My politics pisses you off, doesn't it?
All politics pisses me off. Nothing personal.
I'm grateful to you, Sarge. You helped me through.
You're a good kid, Miller. Talking to you makes me... Never mind.
No, tell me.
I'm looking forward to being a dad, that's all.
You mean your floss?
No. Nothing definite. Not for what I tried, huh?
Your weekend AWOL was worth it, then.
Smashing. Yours?
Oh. Old lady, a bit tearful.
She's your mother, for Christ's sake.
I don't know how she'll manage if I...
No, stop that. Look, son, there's a lot of us won't come back. Someone in the War Office has done the sums, you can bet, but there's no use us trying to work it out. Do our jobs, trust each other, maybe we'll pull through.
Everyone, I suppose, will use these minutes to look back, to hear music and recall what we were doing and saying that year, during our last few months as people, near the sucking mouth of the day that swallowed us all into the stomach of a...
Telephone.
Okay!
It's Sophie.
How'd you know?
I asked. You never learn nothing without asking. I'll close the kitchen door.
Soph?
Chris, the flowers are lovely. Thanks. No one's ever sent me flowers before.
Oh, that's okay. I've never...
What?
Nothing. You sound great.
Oh, so do you. Are you sure you can't come up for a night on the way back?
Oh, I'd love to. I don't want to upset them here.
Your gran doesn't sound all that crumbly. Why don't you
Oh,
have
she's
a word?
brilliant, Soph. They both are. You'll love them.
Why don't you ask them then?
Over the rainbow, skies of grey. Oh, you look more cheerful. I've made a vegetable flan for supper. Your Grandad won't go for it. He's a regular old... Oh, what's that word?
Carnivore?
Yeah, probably. Your Sophie sounds nice.
Gran, can I ask you a favour? A big favour?
You can try.
Privatisation could still be met. Teachers and parents in Manchester have been taking part in protests at the level of drug-related crime in the Moss Side area of the city. Dan Jones has been looking into the claims and
George, I want a
counterclaims.
word with you.
Shush.
And you shush me.
What did you do that for? I'm watching.
I want your advice.
Switch it back on.
Chris would like to leave us a day or two early.
What?
He wants to go and visit his girlfriend.
Oh. I thought his mum said that...
Never you mind, Anne. He's staying with us.
Well, she knows the girl. We don't.
Oh, Sophie sounds very nice. I can tell a lot from a person's voice.
You've spoken to her?
Just to say hello.
You should be an MI5. You mustn't encourage him to be irresponsible, Floss.
Yeah, good job you wasn't such a goody-goody in 1944, innit? Otherwise, him and his dad wouldn't be here.
Oh, that weekend I went absent without leave. The one before D-Day.
That one. Well?
Well, as long as he gets his work done. I had to.
These poems are characterised by... marked by, hell, by what? By a passionate objectivity. As he wrote in a letter in 1943, to be sentimental or emotional now is dangerous to oneself and others. To trust anyone or admit any hope of a better world is criminally foolish. As foolish as it is to stop walking.
Floss. You asleep, Floss? Chris.
Grandad, something wrong?
No. Can you spare a moment? Got something to show you.
Sure.
Good. Up in the loft.
The loft?
Here, catch hold of these.
What?
Don't you like whiskey? Your dad does.
Oh, yeah, he used to nick his best malt.
Yeah. Down you come. That's it.
Are you feeling all right, Grandad?
Shh. Your Gran's a light sleeper.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not losing my marbles, if that's what you mean. Up you go.
Here, hold on to my arm.
That's better. Pause the cup on for you while all your dad's old toot here. Cricket bat, look, Meccano, rucksack. Train set, bloody good train set that was, Hornby. Yeah. Shift that box under light, make yourself comfortable. Now, give us a drink, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yes, getting a bit crumbly for all this. Ain't that the expression?
Grandad, are you sure this is all right?
Yeah, yes.
What are they?
Old snaps, army photos.
You said you'd thrown them away.
Yeah, I lied. All right. That's me in North Africa.
God, you've got thighs like tree trunks.
Oh, battalion centre half, wasn't I? That's the colonel. There's a captain, ex-cavalry. This is our Crusader tank in Tunis. That's the Sherman we got from the Yanks. This is Taft Davis. Our driver still sends a Christmas card. Ginger, our loader. That's Les Miller. I mentioned him.
Yeah. He doesn't look 18.
No. He talked like he was 110 sometimes. Oh, look, they're taken in Germany.
Why didn't you show me before?
I hadn't looked at those pictures for 40 years till last night.
Too painful?
Maybe. No. That's a cop-out. You want to know. Do you really want to know?
Not if it's going to upset you.
I'd like to tell someone before I turn up my toes. I can't tell Floss. Perhaps I'm old-fashioned, but I can't talk to a woman that way. I should have told your father. They don't learn them these things at college, but there you go. It won't take long. And I'll tell you the end first, to make it even shorter. I killed Miller.
Grandad, you don't have to tell me any of this.
I'm telling you. I looked after that kid like he was my baby brother, and I killed him. As sure as sticking a gun to his head. In fact, I wish to God I'd done it that way. This is how war is, son. The bit you never hear about. You get told about courage and comradeship and fear and pain, and that's all true. But this, what I'm telling you, this is truer. Thursday, 15th of June, 44. Outside a little place called Beaumont. Squadrons leaguered behind a spinney. Anti-tank shells coming over and finding us. Jerry Panzers up ahead. Behind a hill. Our troops detailed to shove forward, find out their strength. Then the captain gets one, and we lose 2 gunners. Suddenly I am in charge, and the galloping major puts us on radio silence.
Overthrow riders, blinkers, RT blinkers, GTFN over and out. King 2 sovereign over and out. King 1 sovereign over and out.
You're the boss there, Sarge.
Cobblers. Get yourself over to King 1 now, missing a gunner. Me and the boys can manage here.
But Sarge!
Yeah, you heard me, Les.
Right, Sarge.
Keep your head down and no wanking. Taff, shove off to the 3 o'clock. Take Jerry's mind off him.
Here we go.
Hurry up, come on, Miller. Tell Corporal Grant to stand by for signals.
See you, Sarge.
We spend the next 30 minutes farting about round the hill, hoping the Panzer would bite. But they're not stupid, are they? So one crew has got to go up and over. And they're going to get it bad. I knew that. Taff knows that. Every bugger knows that. Our instinct is to do the job ourselves, but we're a command tank now. The book says no, and a good sergeant goes by the book.
Taff! Sarge!
King 1's going on over. Follow at 400.
Stop that! Let's go with them, make it a double!
It's not a bloody game, that's an order! So, I sent King 1 over.
He was in King 1. Miller.
Yes, you're a good listener. Refill. They went over, and the Panzers are there in strength. The sods hit them from all directions. And regiment was duly grateful for the intelligence. When we got to King 1 3 days later, It was like a burnt-out old tin can. Miller and the rest were unrecognisable.
God.
It don't go away, son, that kind of thing. I still dream about it. Only my dream never happened. I'm in the Sherman with Daff, and Miller climbs back in, smiling at me, with his spotty kid's face, as if he'd just popped out for a slash.
You can't be blamed, Grandad. What else could you have done?
No, you don't understand, Chris. I'm not telling you for sympathy. I'm telling you so you know. What happens to a man when he says yes to a war? What to expect? Because you need to know. Because the tanks and the guns and the refugees are back there again in bloody Bosnia and God knows where else. And they reckoned we'd put an end to all that. But there they are, on a little black box every night. Is that why I had to kill Miller? And go on killing him? Trying to hide what I did to him, what I am? He bored the arse off me with his socialist chat, but when I see what we've made of the world he gave his life for, I feel dirty, inside, ashamed.
Don't, Grandad. Please don't.
George? You up there? George?
He's up here, Gran. We're looking at some old photos.
Oh, would you know what time it is?
Yeah, late, we know. I'm talking to my grandson, all right?
Oh, in the loft?
In the carsy, up the flue, what does it matter?
Oh, help me, one of you.
Here, Gran.
Oh, thank you. Oh, dear. I haven't been up here for donkey's years. Oh, dear. Oh, isn't that John's old train set? You've been drinking, the pair of you.
So what? I'll give you a toast.
Not until you give me a drink, you won't.
I'll get you a glass.
The bottle'll do. I'm all out.
Sit down here.
Oh, my. Oh, dear.
Have you quite finished?
Oh.
A toast to Captain Keith Douglas, poet and soldier, who introduced me to my grandson.
And to Trooper Les Miller, socialist and soldier and friend.
Oh, God.
Does that train set still work, you think?
Let's take a look.
What now?
Well, we're not going back to bed, are we? Give us the box.
Men, babies. Want your eggs? I got them downstairs.
You what?
Why, it's Easter, isn't it?
See? Good as new. To trust anyone or to admit any hope of a better world is criminally foolish. As foolish as it is to stop working for it. It sounds silly to say work without hope, but it can be done. It's only a form of insurance. It doesn't mean working hopelessly.
Winning the war is simple compared to winning the peace. You have to win a peace just the same as you win a war. It's just the same. Just the same.
A lovely day. Tomorrow is a lovely day.
Generations by Brian Wright starred Trevor Peacock as George and Pat Coombs as Floss, with Ross Livingston as Chris and Deborah Berlin as Sophie. The newsreader was Terry Diab. Other parts were played by John Hartley, Andrew Branch, Jonathan Keeble and Roger May. Technical presentation was by Graham Harper. Generations was a BBC World Service drama production directed by David Hitchinson.
Just forget your troubles and learn.
Jerry's organised a special family celebration for Laura's 54th birthday. But what's really going on round the family table? Snobbery.
She's common, she ate a melon with the wrong knife.
Shocks.
I think I would like a divorce.
Disappointments.
I don't do topless lesbian dancing in mud, leather, rubber or bloody brine nylon.
Prudery.
Don't say condoms.
Desperation.
We've made love since 1970, for God's sake.
Oh, yes, on and off.
It's vintage Alan Ayckbourn. Time of my life.
Bugger you, that's all I can see. Bugger you!
Our play of the week.
And you can hear that play of the week at the same time next week.